bring our standards up, and then we're going to get right into the economic calendar. So, mission statement for this group. Our mission here is to create the greatest group of professional traders compiled in the world. We work tirelessly every day to improve our individual selves and push each other to get the most out of one another. With each individual's personal accountability, 100% effort, and consistent actions towards focusing on our controllables, we will each reach our full potential individually and as a family. I, Stefanos, pledge to be the best version of myself today, to do whatever it takes to be the greatest trader that I can be, and to be the most self-disciplined person that I know. I will do the things I have to do today, regardless of how I feel, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. I will control what I can control and not worry about anything else. Reminders, we do not overtrade, we do not over-risk. You don't need to catch a trade today. 1 to 2 trade ideas per day, 3 if you see a perfect setup. Focus on capital preservation over trying to make money, trying to make as much as you can. Focus on that risk management, and then obviously try to push your trades in a smart way, in a smart manner. Keep your trading plan in front of you. Read it before every single session. Make smart decisions. That's what you're focusing on, making smart decisions while you're in the market. We are system-oriented. Now, how much money can I make on this? Think longevity, think efficiency, and think long-term. We're in this for the long run. We aren't here just to make money this week and see how much we can make. We're here to learn, and we're here to get better, to become better traders on a daily basis. We want to become better traders over the course of our lives. Have a sense of urgency and eliminate excuses in any victim mindset. Full accountability for your actions and your decisions. All right, so looking at the economic calendar, again, like we were just talking about, Monday is a low day when it comes to economic activity, but at the same time, again, based on what happened at the end of last week and over the weekend, we could see a lot of volatility in the market today, like I said, especially when the stock exchange opens at 9:30 today. So Tuesday is going to be a bigger day, much bigger day than today, but claim account change, average earnings index, and unemployment claims are coming, or unemployment rate is going to be coming out of Great Britain. And then also we have CPI coming out year over year, month over month over here for the US. So that's a big focus for this week, as well as interest rates coming out of Great Britain. But we also have PPI coming out and retail sales coming out of the US on Wednesday here. Annual budget release is coming out for Great Britain. Empire State Manufacturing Index is coming out as well. Again, retail sales will be released. You get GDP coming out of New Zealand. You have employment data coming out of Australia on Wednesday as well. So Wednesday should be packed just like Tuesday with volume. And then looking at Thursday here, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, unemployment claims. We got a nice move last week from that. So I would go back, look at what happened last week so that we can capitalize on that this week. We also have, like I said, ECB. Europe is going to be raising their interest rate possibly by 50 basis points. We'll see, maybe in lieu of what happened last Friday, or, this past Friday. They may not be increasing rates as much, but CPI will be a big telltale sign for the Fed to see what they're going to be doing, because like I said on Friday, that could change their stance a little bit to become a little bit more dovish, right? So if that's the case, and that's what you've seen over the past couple of days, is you've seen gold rally, you've seen the dollar tanking a little bit, right? So we'll see what CPI gives us. Friday, we're going to end up having the prelim University of Michigan consumer sentiment coming out of the U.S., right? And CPI coming out of Great Britain. Also, consumer inflation expectations for Great Britain as well on Friday too. So a lot of things coming out this week, but like I said, CPI and interest rates coming out of Europe are going to be your main focus and the main mover of the week. So if you guys don't have any questions, we're going to head into GJ over here, starting with the monthly. So again, the monthly has retraced quite a bit, right? We had a strong bullish candle close in January. Then you had February close extremely bullish as well, right? And it looked like this candle was starting to push up again and continue up through this level, but we ended up rejecting it. Right now, we got a very strong monthly bearish candle that has retraced back into this whole region right here, right? So if I just move you guys over here so I could see our prices. Yeah, right around like 161, 500, 600, somewhere around that area is where we're sitting. So if you look at the weekly again, we're kind of coming down. We had this resistance that was holding. We close above, again, strong bullish candle. Then we push all the way into 166 and then reject. Ever since then, we've been pushing, printing bearish candles, lower highs and lower lows. So last week, again, we ended up closing bearish. This week already, we've created that top wick, flip bearish, and now we're sitting right around 161, 150. I think we got Lenny and Lim just came in. What's up, guys?
Morning.
Good morning. Hope you guys had a good weekend.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Okay, so looking over here, our most recent resistance on the higher time frames, as far as structure goes, is right up here. Obviously, our most recent resistance is somewhere down here, but at the same time, right over here, I want you guys to pay attention to the fact that we ended up rejecting 166 perfectly, right? Previous resistance to the left on the higher time frames. We come down, creating lower highs, lower lows. We create this new low right below 163 over here, close below. Holding this support right in here, we push all the way into this area, reject, and close a very weak bullish candle. Next candle creates that top wick and has now already passed the low of that candle, and we basically tanked during pre-New York today, more so London, right? So now looking over here, looks like this may be our next target for this current price action, where this candle could continue down, get that clean move to the left. What it looks like as well here is that we have a previous support here, along with that wick right there as well, that we ended up closing right below that area. We have the fairly clean move to the left that we could be continuing down to and hitting 16500. That's our next support. So if you look at the 4-hour now, 4-hour, you have this area right here. Just gonna neaten that up a little bit. Now you do have this previous support right over here that we're gonna pay attention to in a second. I want to see what we're doing on the lower time frames, but what we did was we created a new low. And honestly, if you look right here, beautiful fake out of this level, right? Holding this resistance after retesting the previous support here, holding that resistance, pushing down, kind of fake this level out right here, push all the way up last week, and then all of a sudden you get that perfect rejection of this area. We did not have enough volume for us to push through that area, hold support, and then mirror that perfect move to the left. We ended up rejecting right away, getting a similar move that we got right there, coming right back down to that support. But then again, looking at this, we ended up faking that level out perfectly, closing right below first, tapping into that support, pulling back to retest that area, strong resistance, and now we're just continuing right back down. So we're clearly below our most recent support right now, and we could very well be continuing down at 16500. All right, so looking at the 1-hour now, looks like what happened was, again, that support right over here, we held again right here, we closed below, we're pulling back into that whole area over here, and now we're starting to flip bearish here on the hourly. So are we going to be able to retest this low and continue back down to 16400? Before we do that, let's actually take a look at the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen daily over here is pretty bullish, right? We're holding that support, a lot of fear in the market. Get that nice little bounce off that previous support over here, right? Price is pushing up. Are we holding support where we can continue back up? If we hold the support over here and continue up, GJ is going to continue to fall. But if we can close below this area and kind of fake that support out, if we can fake this level out and continue back down, at least for today, before holding support here, and then maybe continuing back up, then again, like I said, you're going to see some well, actually the opposite way. You're going to see some bears on GJ. So looking at GJ again, this 1-hour candle did push into that area and now flipping bearish. Looking at the 30-minute, 30-minute is holding that support. Again, I would not guess that price is going to correct this entire move right here on a Monday. When it comes to fundamentals, I think that price is going to come right into this area and continue down. When I was on the chart before, I was looking at a potential sell over here on the 15-minute, right? Where price comes up, holding that resistance, you could potentially continue down, but I had a feeling that that was not going to be the move, right? I wanted to see a pullback into this area right here. So right now we're pulling back into that area. Does anybody recognize this setup right here? There's got to be at least like 2 or 3 of you guys that have seen this many times with us. Anybody? No? You guys don't recognize this? Potential fake out right there? Break and retest. Yep, it definitely is a break and retest, right? But more specifically, when it comes to this setup right over here, it's a good chance that we end up continuing right back down here. So what I'm going to wait for here on this candle, if this just leaves without us, like this 30-minute candle, which would be an anomaly, flips bearish here and just continues down and retest that low in the next 9 minutes, so be it, right? But what I would rather wait for is this 30-minute candle to close bearish. Next candle creates the top wick, passes the low, and continues right back down. And again, you got a good amount, not really again, because I haven't talked about it yet, but you got about 100 pips in this whole area. And then obviously the only thing that really matters is if that candle closes right there to that wick is still 45 pips. So just keep that in mind. You got enough room that you could be taking this trade in. But again, I would wait for 7:30 to come around. You already see where we're tracing over here, right? 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute. Oh, yeah, I want to see a nice bearish candle close here, specifically below this previous resistance, and we could take this thing down. Everyone see the same
What
thing?
do you have your support there at 164? Yeah, what do you have your support there?
Sorry, Lewis. Great question.
Sorry.
I have this support right over here. If you look to the left on the hourly, right? We do have this support right here, right? So you could put that there like more of a thin zone. But if you look at like the 4 hour over here, you really have that clean 4 hour move coming down into that area, right? I know price has rejected that area multiple times, and it could be doing that right now, but we'll see how this candle closes at 7:30. But like I said, you do have this fairly clean move here on the 4 hour. And then obviously you can move that there as well. But I think I like this better. At that previous support, you have that wick right there, and price actually came in and tapped that area perfectly with this wick. So if we close bearish right there, should be continuing down. But do you see this? Our price could be continuing down into this support right here.
Yeah. So you base that support on the 4 hour on the body on the candle closures.
Yep. 100%.
Okay.
But what I do like, again, like I said, is this support right over here. That's a good area for you to target for us to retest that low. But I think after a move like this, honestly, especially from what we saw last week, get that impulsive move, you get this little retest, and then price could very well continue even through that support right there as well. Right, to open the markets up. And then also you're finishing this fake out over here, break through that previous support, and now we can continue right back down. But yeah, we got 6 minutes, exactly 6 minutes left for this to close here. All right, any questions on GJ? What I'm going to do is just take a quick screenshot of these. What I did was pre-journal, which I recommend you guys doing, so it's easier for you guys to journal. It's hard for you guys to journal, especially like a losing trade, if you guys don't set everything up. Here we go. If you don't set everything up beforehand, before you end up taking that trade. So what I do is I have all the pre-screenshots over here of GJ, gold, and US 30. And basically,
Dude, I think it's gonna. I think from what you broke down, it looks like he wants to continue back down, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because the monthly looks bearish, the weekly looks bearish, the daily, the 10 hour, the 4 hour, everything. Like almost all the time frames look bearish.
Not only that, but fundamentals too. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're going to be pouring the money into the Japanese yen with fear. Safe haven currency. Yeah, this should continue right back down. You just don't want to get caught in something right over here, like especially if the 30-minute ends up flipping bearish and then coming right back and closing bullish again. Same thing with the 1 hour. So right over here again, 5 minutes left. We're gonna get a nice strong bearish candle, right? Next one's gonna create a top wick, and potentially, depending on the way this candle closes, hopefully like maybe somewhere right there or below it, if it's going to close all the way down here, you're going to see a top wick forms and a flip of that candle, and we could very well take this thing down with our stop loss above that candle instead of putting it all the way up here. But we'll see. We'll see what we end up getting. We have no idea yet. But what it does look like is that it may end up closing a strong 30-minute candle. What I would like is for this candle to actually retrace somewhere up here and close somewhere right there with that wick rejection and a wick to fill. And then what we could do is, again, wait for the top wick to form, flip bearish. Maybe we could put our stop loss like somewhere above it. So that would be my ideal entry right there if that's the case. But 15-minute is starting to push through this previous support right there as well. You're seeing a lot of bearish pressure. And honestly, maybe a stop loss above this 15-minute would be great either way, no matter how the candle closes. Does setup make sense?
Yeah.
So did I take a 15-minute screenshot? Yeah. All right. All right. So we got 3 minutes left. We're gonna go right back to it. But I'm gonna start with gold right over here. Now, gold, I'm still in buys from last week. You guys take a look over here. What I did was I ended up moving my stop loss above this higher low right over here because I do think we should be able to push through that resistance and continue up. But we did get a little rally here on the US dollar to start off the week, right? Price is kind of holding support right in this area, right over here. Again, we broke that bearish. We broke this bearish move over here, this basic bearish price action. Ever since then, we kind of faked this area out, been creating higher lows and higher highs here, right? And we ended up getting that tank last week, right? Off of Powell statements and also, everything going on Friday mostly. Ended up correcting the whole move on Tuesday from Powell statements. This whole move corrected it. So now we're coming right back down to that support, but holding a strong support and possibly continuing back up. But I think that price will most likely end up pulling back into any of these areas over here and bouncing off of them and continuing right back down, especially if the Fed comes out acting a lot more dovish, especially after Friday. Right, so keep that in mind. But right now, again, very strong monthly candle, bullish candle over here on gold. On the monthly, looking at the weekly here, weekly has no bottom wick, strong. We started the week out extremely bullish, just pushing up with a clean move to the left over here. So we're holding the support right in this area, grab liquidity, flip bullish over here, right? This candle, no bottom wick, past the high of the previous candle, and now we're pushing up. If you look at the daily over here, we're gonna get a lot of volume today. You could feel it. Price now starting to come back above that previous resistance over there. Clean move to the left. Do you guys remember grabbing this move down? I think we called that out during the live stream. I was able to grab it. But then this was that price action that we saw during back testing. That price ended up getting that retest and continuing right back down. I'm going to go back to GJ for a second. Actually, let me just see the 4 hour here. 4 hours just continuing up over here. Now, what I'm going to do is readjust this. Got that previous support. Turned resistance right over here. Price is now tapping into that area, right? And we're also holding some kind of a support right in this area over here. Let me just go back to GJ for a second. Don't want you guys to miss this. Okay, the 1 hour, and again, nice liquidity grab, flipping bearish here. The 4 hour, right? Extremely bearish. All right. 30-minute candle just closed with no bottom wick, which I don't like at all. Right? But what we could see is maybe a top wick forms, passes the low of it. I don't like that. That tells me that we could very well end up ranging here for a second before continuing down to 8. Let's take a screenshot of this. Now, what you could do is if, we close with no bottom wick over here and you're still confident price will go down, I could see maybe a stop loss above here, wider stop loss to catch any of the consolidation in here before continuing down. But you might as well wait for the better price action to take this thing down. So let's just take a screenshot if you guys have everything ready right now. Throw another screenshot into your journal to show you the 30-minute close. Now, the fact that it flipped bearish and closed so strong like that tells me that if we do get that top wick on this candle and it passes the low, it should be safe enough for this thing to continue down through that support. Just be cautious here. Let's see. I'll readjust that right there. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Is this something you guys would be comfortable with? This flips bearish?
What's your plan again? Where's your like where would you enter?
Yeah, so what I'm looking at is a possible, if this candle does end up flipping bearish and breaking its own lows, I could see this continuing down. Because you see all the volume right here, right? We pull back, and the fact that that candle created a top wick like that in this perfect area, and then flip bearish and close bearish, that close bearish like that we should be continuing down here, right? But what I'm saying is no bottom wick over here is the only thing that worries me, but this is a nice top wick right there. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to enter this lower risk. This would be more like a 1% trade. My stop loss is going to be around 161. Let's see. Where was it? 190. So basically 200. Somewhere around there. Right? So for plenty of range for us to manage risk or anything like that if we need to. But I do think price should be continuing down. And I want to be able to grab a move like this in the early morning, 7:30, because we got a couple of those last not on GJ, but gold on Monday, right? So some of those pre-New York moves that ended up happening last week. So that's what I'm trying to capitalize on. Again, strong bearish close, no bottom wick, which is why I lowered my risk, and then a healthy top wick, and now passing the low of that candle. Make sense?
Yeah.
Anybody else in this?
Mm-mm. You don't get a little word that you're shorting right at support.
So yeah, let me get to that in a second. This is where intuition comes in, but that's what I'll talk about in a sec. Entry. So this is one thing. Screenshot. All right, so this is kind of what Sharma and I used to talk about when it comes to like just intuition with your pair and how it could get difficult to teach other people and mentor other people because other people could be in a different stage than you are as a trader, right? So these are certain things where it's like, okay, we do have this support right over here, but it's after a move like this, like more confluences are going for you than against you in terms of this. So again, I believe that price should be continuing down with a move like this, a setup like this. We should be continuing down through that support and continuing down. At least down to like 160,500. So giving us like that 1-to-1. Again, stop loss is not down here, right? It is up here where I can easily manage risk and lower my risk anyway. And then I could get that 1-to-1. So if we start rejecting this area at any point, or if this candle flips bullish and closes bullish, I'm already closing 50%. I hope that kind of clears things up. I know it sounds confusing, and it's easily like I'm telling you guys to do one thing and I'm not doing the other, which I don't like doing. But when it comes to just knowing your pair very well, this is one of those setups where we should continue down. Entry. And this honestly should end up being a runner for the rest of the day too. Make sense, Lewis?
Yep.
I may end up taking a piece off over here. Like it looks like we're pushing through that support, but I may take a piece off with that wick fill right there. And again, like I said, especially after making this push right now, if we end up closing bullish right here, I'm probably closing 50%. Or I am closing 50%. Quentin, Lenny, Lim, does this all make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep in mind, like when you guys get these candles that close a strong bearish candle, but with no bottom wick over there, obviously that should make you raise your like spidey senses, I guess you could say, like raise some caution. Make sure that this candle, you're not taking it right away. You're waiting for a healthy top wick right there, and then we should be continuing down from there. Okay, so here's a little hint for you. The fact that we kind of closed below this support here, we had a little fake out right there, right on the 1 minute, but this candle right over here closed below that level. We're now retesting. So if we can hold some kind of a resistance there on the 1 minute, we should be continuing down. If not, maybe we're getting that fake out, and that's where you got to keep an eye on it a little bit closer. That's how you kind of use those lower time frames. It's the same exact thing as the higher time frames, right? We're waiting for that retest right there. Just picture this as the 30-minute. Okay, 1 minute just retested that area. Gold continuing up, creating a higher low. Do you guys want to keep watching this, or do you want me to start breaking everything else down? It's up to you guys. Anyone? No prerogative?
Oh, I had you on mute. Did you on gold? Would you wait until the 30-minute candle closes above this resistance?
Yes.
To even take anything?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
So, I could, I'll just watch this on my other screen here, and then we'll go over the.
Why don't you put like both gold and GJ in one screen?
I could do that. Let me see. Why won't it let me? Shrink this. Oh, that's me on this. It'll just be a different chart, I guess. US 30 continuing down. Yeah, you know what? Oh, we're just gonna go back and forth. Getting close to that wick fill right there.
You already taken partials in region?
No, sir. I'm just probably gonna take some partials at that wick fill right there. But if we keep breaking our own lows, I'll probably wait for 16500, my legit 1-to-1. Yeah, my legit 1-to-1 will be 509. Get this ready to go. To 1 minute, starting to reject this area. That's okay though. This price action over here tells me that we should be continuing down. Even if we pull back into this area a little bit, that's not worrying me. But looking at gold over here again, I think we're on the 4-hour. Yeah, 4-hour again. We get that resistance right to the left, was a previous support as well. Clean move to the left once we break above that area, or if it's a different area on the lower time frames, most likely will be right around this area right here. Right, so 1919 200, somewhere in that area. So if you look at the 1-hour now, 1-hour again, we're sitting right at that previous resistance, rejecting it multiple times already over here to the right. But once you break above that area, get that clean close above, should be continuing up here. I like the 1-hour a lot so far, right? This higher low here. If you get a strong close above, we should be continuing up. 30-minute. Yeah, 30-minute wait for the close above this area. Can't stress that enough. Just put it right there. Something like right there. If you just wait for that close above, because we could reject like we have multiple times to the left here. So just wait for a strong close above, and then you could take the bottom wick, flip bullish, and take this thing up. Clean move to the left. There we go. We go back to GJ over here. Starting to push down. I'm going to be taking partials right now. Beautiful. Just took off 80% here at 1-to-1. Those 80% at 33 pips. 1-to-1, stop loss at break even. All right, that makes sense to you guys?
Yeah. I wish some of you guys grabbed that with me. That's all right, though. No, forget I just said that, because what I want you guys doing is when we call trades out here, again, this isn't a signal group. This is like you guys getting better every single day. So if there's a trade that you guys see, like honestly, I like the fact that some of you guys didn't take this because you weren't too sure about it yet, right? Like this isn't a setup you guys have seen. You had that support right there.
Your
What's
entry was based on what? On which time frame?
I'm sorry, what?
Your entry was based on which time frame?
Everything. So like you were actually just pointing out too, daily was lining up.
Everything was
right?
short.
Daily was lining up. 4-hour was extremely bearish. Previous 4-hour gave us a nice rejection and a close. The 1-hour over here, arguably, this is a different kind, but looks like a impulse volume push.
But typically
Mhm.
this would have to be this actually gave you a strong candle with a wick. This would have to be a little bit weaker of a candle, right? But the fact that this candle created that top wick, flipped bearish here, right? And we were starting to break its own lows. That's the 1 hour. 30-minute over here ended up closing bearish, but with no bottom wick over here. Next one, you got that strong top wick over here, passed below the previous candle in perfect sequence, and then continue down. We should at least fill that wick and continue down to the support. And like I said, I honestly think that we should be continuing down through that support as well today. But what I'm going to do is I'm not moving my stop loss to break even. I don't know why I wrote that there. It's just a template. Stop loss. Move down. So what I'm going to do is move my stop loss down to the high of that wick.
And you said you didn't wait until the candle closed because you had already an intuition that everything was already lining up towards a short move.
So when I take impulse entries, 95% of those impulse entries are after a candle closes, right? There's very few candle closes in my direction. So I did wait for this candle to close. That's what I was doing. But I did wait.
Mhm.
My extra confirmation is usually waiting for that top wick to form and pass below the previous candle. Last week, Quentin was asking a great question about, when to take trades when candles close right away and when to take them after wicks are formed, or when to wait for that wick to be formed. And it really depends on the setup. Every setup is different. So certain setups you can wait, and certain setups, like you get that A+ break and retest right over here, where you get like a low created right here, a beautiful strong bearish candle close right up here with a wick to fill. That's your ideal entry, where you don't even have to wait for that top wick to form. Just enter after the candle closes, and you can take this thing down. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm journaling all this.
Beautiful. That's exactly what you should be doing. And if you guys go back into my journal, go back into the group Trello, whatever you guys want to do, you'll see a ton of entries where I wait for candle. You'll see which ones I wait for the candle to close, or which ones I enter after the candle closes, and which one I wait for the wick. And move my
Maybe
stop.
on the maybe if you journal, like if you annotate on the, like if you put a call out on, like you know how you said that you waited for the 30 minutes of candle bearish with no top wick or whatever.
So you're saying make a call out here where like I waited for the
On,
top wick?
well, no, like you know how you said you waited for the previous candle to close in your
Yes.
direction. Maybe write that.
So what I'll do is, like, on my trades when I'm journaling these, you'll see a lot of these things in the call out, like strong retest and close, but with no bottom wick. So I'll write that there. But when I start to like really journal this trade, right, and start to write in it, I'll write everything about it. I'll be like, this is, and that's what you'll see. Like if you guys go back into, a trade like right here. This is a miss on gold, but like everything about that trade was written right here. This one right here, everything fundamentally, technically, psychologically, everything I'm thinking about this trade is all written in here, and why I took it, when I took it, all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Make sense? Quinn, how you making out, buddy?
Oh, good man. I didn't take the trade, but it made complete sense, and I had like the same feeling, but not strong enough to take it.
Okay, good. Again, I'm never gonna criticize you guys or anything like that for not taking trades. If they don't make sense to you, do not take it. But if they do, and all the confluences are lining up, this is a different story. All the confluences are lining up, and this is in your trading plan, and other people are taking it in the group, which shouldn't really matter to you either. But again, it adds another little confluence for you. you got to ask yourself why you're not taking it if that's the case. But again, I do understand why you guys wouldn't be taking this because of that no bottom wick. But let this be a learning lesson for you guys. Go back into the live session and rewatch this today and see how this thing ends up playing out. And just journal
Why
it.
did you put your stop loss in the original where you already had it originally and not atop, not above the current wick?
Just because
No,
again,
not the current wick, but the previous wick. I mean,
why didn't I put it right here? Or why didn't I
Yeah.
put it up here?
where did you have your stop loss?
My stop loss was
Originally.
like right here, right around 200.
Okay, and
Is at
what
190.
did you put it there?
So right there is, it gives me, again, it's not directly above this candle, right? Because then, I could be getting wicked out and then price continues right back down. But it also doesn't need to be all the way up here too for it to be a valid trade, right? I need a stop loss for, right in the middle of that, where now I can manage my trade anywhere in this area, right? But also, if price starts holding this support over here, my stop loss is all the way up there. It really doesn't need to be all the way up there. Like that wouldn't really make much sense. Get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because the risk reward would be just fucked.
Exactly. So I put it like somewhere right around here. But guys, give me 1 second. Let me just use the bathroom. Yo, yo.
Yep.
All right, we're coming back to break even over here. So what I'm going to do is cut the whole thing. So let's see. Telling you guys, we're going to be on the money this week. The amount of work I put in over this weekend.
Were you back this all weekend or what?
Oh my God. Reviewing, back testing, doing everything.
Shit.
Closing off the world.
Both days?
Both days.
On Saturday and Sunday? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. And Friday. When we were done with our back testing, that's all I was doing. Cut full at break even. Yeah, we're gonna be catching some nice trades this week. Okay, so this is the 15-minute. Close full at break even. This was a short, and this is all you gotta do. Plug in as soon as you're done. Plus 33 pip gain on Monday at today. When did I take this? This around 7:32. When runner stopped at break even. Right. It's the 15-minute. Let me take a picture of that. Yeah, the 30-minute. Lewis, you able to get a lot of work in?
Yeah, bro. I actually back tested on Saturday. A little bit, like a couple hours. I was able to
Go.
finish all the actually all my weekly goals for last week, which I was pretty happy about.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Remember, that's what we're focusing on after that. After our Zoom, I think we're gonna end up continuing down over here. You guys may end up getting an entry. The only thing is where your stop loss would be. Yeah, you have a wick to fill over here. I could see this candle flipping bearish and continuing down to fill that wick right away. But I could also see us kind of holding that support, especially after that bounce off this support right over here. Like we finally reached this low. So maybe we kind of like consolidate in this area, if you will. So just keep that in mind here. 5 minute. Yeah, what I was about to say, Lewis, just again focusing on the action, doing what you got to do every single day, every single week. You guys will be good. But most people can't do this, and most of you guys probably haven't tried it yet, right? You guys haven't been as consistent as you want to be yet. So, you might as well do it. It's not that hard. Don't kill yourself every single day. If you're not like that hyper focused worker, just make sure that you're getting in at least one backtesting session in per day. You're beating most people by doing that anyway. But if you could get 2 or 3 in, like, where do you want to be? You got to figure out where you guys want to be and go backwards as far as the work that you need to put in to get there. See how this lower high is being formed here on the 1 minute? I think we could probably, based on the way the 1 minute looks here, I think we can probably retest this low over here, and then we may end up consolidating in this area. Maybe until later on, and then we could break 500 here and continue right back down. That's what I would like to see here on GJ. But let's take a break from GJ again. Go back to the higher time, the other pairs over here. It looks like the 30-minute did close below this area. This is what you got to be careful with, Lois, because this is where you can reject at any point. I do think gold is still bullish, right? We got this higher low over here, but at the same time, We just got to make sure that this support ends up holding, because we could pull back into here again and then continue back up. This is where a lot of people get trapped, because they're like, damn, like we get the clean move to the left. All I want to do is just grab this move right here, and they get impatient and enter too early.
Yeah.
I wish I back tested it, or I wish I journaled it, but I was back testing a setup on gold that I was able to catch a breakout like this. But before the breakout, very similar price action right over here. We ended up rejecting this area hard, and then again, price then continued back up. So it's going to take some people out and then continue in their direction.
Well, what would you wish that you would journal or back test it?
Like I said, I was back testing on the simulator, and I saw a very similar setup to this, where I was tempted to enter, something up here. Price ended up continuing back down and then continued back up, and then that was the proper entry. So when you get multiple rejections like this, just be careful, especially right over here too with that wick. But if you get that clean close above here, at least the bottom wick rejection, wait for, and then continue that up. All right, so that's gold. US 30 over here. This is the stock market, guys. This is what we were saying. Definitely not green. We are not in a good market environment when it comes to, fundamentals, the bubble that we're in right now. Like it's going to get ugly in the next couple weeks, especially with what just happened with SVB. After that just crashed, like any bank could tank at this point. So just keep that in mind, and all the fear in the market, you're going to see this thing continuing down. Again, last month, February, ended up closing extremely bearish. We had a little rally during January, but then bearish, extremely bearish February. And this is very similar to what we were just looking at in the lower time frames on GJ, the trade that I just took, right? Strong bearish candle close, liquidity grab, past the eye of the previous, liquidity grab, flip bearish, and close a very strong bearish with no bottom wick. Then you get the healthy top wick, past the low of the previous candle, and continues down. You guys see that? So now looking at the weekly here, the weekly, we ended up getting a strong bearish candle close from 35,000. So 35,000 has been holding a strong resistance on the Dow over here. Now we're creating these lower highs, where we're also kind of holding this resistance right in here as well, right? We ended up getting this tank. We pull back, retest that area once again. Again, pull back. We get that bullish candle close, like a higher low, but then we just keep rejecting this area for a few weeks, right? We have like 3 or 4 weeks of very rangy price action in this area. But then again, you get this last flip over here, right? It looks like we're creating that higher low. At this point, this candle never passed the low of that candle, created a bottom wick, flip bullish, past the high of that candle, continued into this direction, and then we ended up tanking and closing a weak bearish candle. Then we get this candle creating its top wick, passing low of the previous candle, pushing all the way into this support. We get our little rebound here, but with no top wick. Top wick forms, past the high, flips bearish, and just crashes. So now again, this weekly candle over here created a nice top wick, has already passed the low of the previous candle. I could see us getting a very red candle like we got right there, right here, with that clean move to the left. This could be the week where this thing just ends up completely tanking, unless what happens is you see like this candle push below, starts to pass the low of the previous candle, which it has, and then we maybe like pull back, like flip bullish again and close like a weak bullish, and then the next candle creates that top wick and just tanks. Clean move to the left here. This is gonna get ugly. Yeah, look at this. We're sitting right below that previous support over there to the left on the daily. We already broke below this support right over here. Completely mirrored the move to the left right over here with these candles. Now, again, that candle created that top wick, passed below the previous candle, clean move to the left coming down into here. Looking at the 4-hour,
Looks like GJ did like a nice little break and retest after
Yep.
closing on the 30.
yes, sir. I'm looking at that too. So now again, we're sitting at that support, right? Previous support to the left. We got a fairly clean move coming down right into this support right there. So are we going to be able to grab a move like that coming down? And then that's your next target right over there. In the 1 hour. Oh yeah, this thing is nice. I think with a safe stop loss, see, part of me wants to take this stop loss right, or this price action right here, putting a stop loss above this candle right there. You might not even need to, but because of US 30, it could snap back and then continue down. But I love the 1 hour right here, right? We closed at that support. We got that bearish close, but this candle creating that top wick and passing low of the previous candle, starting to push through 31,800. I could see this continuing right back down. See the 30-minute. Yeah, look at that. I think a stop loss like right here. It doesn't have to be above that wick, but like somewhere above there. This thing is going to continue down, guys. All right, so I'm going to wait for that right now. I'm going to wait for at least that 15-minute candle to close below that area. I fully think it will, but I'm going by based on what I see, not what I think. I'm just going to wait for that candle to close. But yeah, looking over here, got that little pullback here on the 1 minute right over here, almost like a fake out. See that? Now we're continuing down. We're going to hold this area as a resistance, and then we're going to continue right back down to that support. Lenny, how you doing, man?
Not too bad, just watching gold,
Okay. What are you looking for in gold?
the break and retest, but
Okay.
I don't know, break and retest, the break of the on the 30-minute.
If you notice here too on the 15-minute, that's kind of your resistance right there.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to pass. If it does break past 1894.16, if I'm taking it.
We're 60. Okay, I like it. I like that. Yeah, right over here on the 30-minute. Like I said, this is where a lot of people get trapped here, right? Where they think price is breaking out, higher lows, all that's great, right? But at the same time, you could pull back and then continue back up.
Yeah, but I'll wait for it to break down and then I'll take it.
I like it. Yeah, unfortunately, I missed US 30 here. This is more of a setup that I'm kind of studying right now. The fact that we closed bullish here on the 15-minute, this is one of those rare chances where, like I was just talking about, 95% of my trades, I wait for the previous candle to close in my direction. This is one of the, the 5% trades where that previous 15-minute candle did close bullish. This candle respected it and started breaking the lows of these wicks over here, where you could have potentially entered this. But right now, if you miss this, I'm not getting FOMO. I'm not selling down here. I'm not acting on the FOMO. I'm just waiting for a retest here, and then I could take this thing down. But I fully think that, yeah, you're going to get something like this right here. Yeah, it's already started to start the week off. Right, Sunday we got the yesterday we got a little rally coming from the support, right, where price comes up into that resistance right there, and then boom, Monday opens, and we're already off to the races here. See the dollar's still making higher lows here on the lower time frames, kind of bouncing. bouncing off this support a little bit over here, continuing up. That's where you're seeing the you're seeing gold kind of come down a little bit. Hey, Lem,
Yeah,
how are you? How was your weekend?
great.
It was great.
Yeah, I reviewed my trades and also did my spot project and stuff like that.
Beautiful. Confident going into this week.
Yeah, a lot of volume.
Let's go, man. Let's go. I want a big week from you guys, everyone, including myself. The idea, like this goes for you guys, and this is what I'm thinking too. And again, I've done this over and over and over again. Every single time I had a losing week, I would go back, do all my studying, back testing, all that stuff. But a lot of the trades that either were losers or journal trades that I missed, these end up becoming winning trades over here. And the losers either become winning trades or they become trades that I just wouldn't even take at all. Right. So the more you study this, the more you study previous weeks, the better you guys are going to get. One thing that I'm going to start implementing for myself that I forgot Rakeel always used to say, but when he started doing live streams, what he would do is he would go back and rewatch his actual live stream, just to study what they were doing and all that stuff. And he said that's what got him a lot better as a trader. So what I'm going to be doing is rewatching our live streams as soon as I put them on YouTube, and just seeing, obviously how I can present better, but also how we can be catching some of these moves that we're missing, what our language is before we end up taking it or before we missed it, before we lost it, whatever the case may be. But there's so much subject matter that you guys could study and take into the next day or into the next week or the next month. So I love the 1 hour candle close here on GJ right now. And the fact that this 1 hour candle created that top wick and now is flipped bearish here. Right? Again, previous candle did close bearish, but with no bottom, with a nice bottom wick to fill, but it closed a lot weaker right above that level. But this candle passed the high and is now flipping bearish to continue down. Like I said, you may want to be cautious about selling into this area right here, right? But we could also very well, with today's volume, what I'm expecting, even though we got a small economic calendar, I'm expecting this thing to continue down. See, now, the fact that we have this support right here too, and to the left, how it matches up, that leads me to believe that, okay, I don't know if this would be a smart idea, but I'm looking at this 15-minute candle, the fact that it closed like that, top wick forms, passes the low of that candle, the range is just too small here at this point. But I could see that playing out. You got about 25 pips to the support right there. Let me actually just journal this real quick. So Lenny is looking at gold. What's everyone else looking at? Quinn, what are you looking for?
Not sure, like both. Waiting. I mean, I don't really want to take the GJ 15-minute because it's on the 15
Mhm.
on one day, and gold had like a very good close, bullish, because we have those two wicks that rejected the same like 1893 level.
Okay. Go back to the higher time frames for a second. See, the daily already tapped into this previous daily support right here, and it's now retracing, right? It already retraced from that area. And this daily candle is pretty big as it is. So, I don't know how much more movement we're going to get bearish, but that's what going up to those higher time frames will do to help you out with maybe staying out of a trade that you don't want to miss. So right over here, again, we just tapped into that area perfectly. Previous support over here. Again, we could continue down, but something about this 4-hour candle tells me that we may be a little exhausted here. And, it's going to be closing in the next 40 minutes. So we could very well be closing like this. Next one creates a top wick somewhere up in this area anyway, and then continues down. Or we end up retracing all the way back up to this area and then continuing back down. All right, we've seen hard pullbacks. We've seen hard pushes here, and then we pull back hard and then continue back down. So hard push, pull back hard, continue right back down. So again, that trade would be on the 15-minute. I do love the 1-hour candle. I wish we didn't have the support right here because I would love to be taking this right now. 30-minute, again, liquidity grab. But the 15-minute, it just seems like it's like trying to pass low. Very well could. Yeah, like I said, fundamentally wise, I do think that we're gonna end up continuing through this support right here. But like you can't do what you think, right? If you are not comfortable taking this 15-minute, which me too, I'm not comfortable taking this after a win either. But if you're not, what you could do is just journal this trade if it does play out and continues down, where that would be your earlier entry for this whole range, or you just wait for. Oh, just do. You just wait for the close below the support over here, and then you could take this thing down and then again journal that trade as well. But we're getting a lot of volume in the market. Gold starting to break up. I do like this 15-minute setup here. Liquidity grab, bottom wick formed, past the high of the previous candle. Now we're continuing up. Kind of respecting the low over here. So 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour looks good to continue up. The only thing is like the 4 hours is pretty overextended over here. I do like this liquidity grab right there and that flip bullish. Bottom wick forms past the high of the previous candle. But I could see us like retesting that wick right there, rejecting, and then pulling back at some point and continuing up. But with the price action that we have right now, we could very well be continuing up anyway. Dollar's pushing up too. Yeah, I think a safe close will be above that area, and then he could take that up. And then US 30 here, got that strong close in the 15-minute below. The 1 hour as well. Yeah, 15-minute close below. Can we hold this area as a resistance? Here we go. Nice pullback. All right. Look at all those pre-market prices over here on all these indices, all these risk currencies. USD JPY is down 1.5% already, 2% for the week. Now looking back at this trade, we had my original stop loss was up here. So if you were to leave like a runner, again, my rules, I don't let my trades if I secure 33 pips, my trade is not going to go back in the drawdown, at least majority of them. But with a safe stop loss up here, we'd probably still be in this. All right, gold is starting to continue up over here. I like it. Anybody notice anything about this 5-minute here on gold? And how it could potentially, give you some clues for continuing up? Anyone see it?
The fake out.
Yeah. I mean, you do have this fake out you're talking about right here.
No. I swear about right. This one here.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that as well. I would just kind of mark that off as like a higher low in this previous resistance right over here. But the fact that like if you're looking at this, you're like, okay, we came to the market over here. Price is very bullish on the 4-hour. The 1-hour over here is very bullish, right? We held a nice support over here this morning during London, where we ended up creating that high. And then we came back down to create like a higher low. So how could we grab this move from here all the way up here if we think that we got enough range, 125 pips, to continue up there? And now what I'm doing is I'm looking at this right here, right? That high being created. We did reject that level, right? And then we get this higher low formed first with that bullish candle. Then this candle passes the low of that candle and then passes the high and closes a very strong bullish candle. But then if you look at the 15-minute, 15-minute ended up pushing up, creating that high, pulling back, closing below that previous support right there, holding the resistance right over here with that bullish candle, then the bearish candle, and then this candle created that bottom wick and passed the high and closed a very strong bullish, creating the higher low to continue up. Then if you look at the 5-minute here, you could start to see that price action right there. The close below, and then multiple respects of that support right there. Bullish candle close, another strong bullish candle close, and a higher low formed with a bullish candle close right there. So something like this, for you to continue up to retest the high right there, how can you grab that? Does that make sense? Again, this is something down the road for you guys, but it's something that you guys can keep an eye on and start to journal if you're asking yourself, excuse me, if you're asking yourself why repeatedly. Okay, 5-minute close bullish here on US 30. Looking for the pullback. So GJ ended up retesting that low over there. Like I said, I think we could very well push through that level. We'll see. Does anyone have any questions?
I'm gonna send you a chart just now of
Beautiful.
what of a live back test.
On
GJ.
on chat in the chat.
Or you want me to send it on?
You could send it in the chat on here, but let's go into. Would you send it?
No, I'm going to. Hold on a second.
Oh, you're going to. Okay, cool. Yeah, send it in Zoom. All right, so 8:30 is about to close. Getting a nice little push right now. And now gold is creating a new high. I think we've officially, no, not yet. Yeah, we're about to create a new high, passing that high right there. Again, I'm still in my buy from last week. So you're going to get a nice strong 30-minute candle close here. Wait to see if you get some kind of a pullback here, and they could continue this up. But I do think, does anyone see this, like what I was talking about here, with this gold move to capture the higher low?
Yeah, just like you said, you're waiting for a pullback on the retest.
Yep.
I mean on the resistance.
Yeah. I mean, this candle closed no top wick either. So I'm really looking for some kind of a pullback here. Plus, this looks a little overextended. I could see us pulling back and then continuing back up. Plus the US dollar here. Oh, the US dollar is pulling back here. All right, so we could be creating that lower high, which I think we will continue in that direction as well, based on everything that happened over the weekend. Okay, Lewis.
I send the link. I think that will probably look better.
Yeah, I just opened it up. So you would do what? What are you looking at here?
So I would have waited for the 30 minutes to close under my support, then
Okay.
and then enter as soon as the candle turned bearish,
Mhm.
with the stop loss a little bit above the previous 30-minute candle wick.
I like that. Yeah, and that it's all dependent on how strong your conviction is that we should be breaking through this level. But even with that,
Yeah.
you would be getting the like I said, we should be filling that wick right there. But this candle flip bearish past low. You did wait for that candle to close below, which is the smartest move to take. Right? I like that.
Yeah, and then my full target would have been just when it basically filled the previous wick, and then it was pretty much close at 33 pips, kind of same thing as we did.
Okay. I like it, man. Eventually you'll be executing these.
Yeah,
US 30 again. This is pretty much what I'm waiting for. I wanna capitalize on this market crash as much as I can. Right. I want to be able to grab these lower highs being formed and execute all these moves on the way down. Like a GJ here.
yeah. GG looks like they're about to rip.
Do you still in GJ or not?
Serge, no, I'm not. I grabbed my 33 pips. I don't know where my other thing went, but grabbed 80% of 33 pips and then it stopped the full position at break even.
Yeah, I have to go to
get my dog because it was in the garden and wind opens the door and people call me, they found my dog.
Your dog ran away?
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, I found it because someone took it to the vet, but it's like second time they say today, first thing in the morning, then now in the afternoon.
Yeah. You guys not feeding your dog? Trying to get away?
No, it's because it stay in the garden and we had to,
And just be aware,
like,
Thomas,
very
of
windy
Swiss
today.
regulators here. Finman says that it takes
Very
notes of
windy.
planning Silicon
Yeah,
Valley
and the
Bank
garden door
response
is
to the
open.
situation. Yeah, one of those things that we are just keeping an eye out to see if they make any comments on domestic banks. So Credit Suisse, as we've flagged up several times, under
Is that Bloomberg?
many of their credit
No, that's
swaps rising to fresh record highs. No comments in this from regarding any domestic banks. The Swiss banking regulators are keeping an eye on the situation. They said they're monitoring direct and indirect exposure of banks and insurance companies that it supervises.
Wow.
That's that website I send you. It's a live squawk.
Yeah.
They tell about
I'm
something going on.
Serge, what was it again? Live Squawk?
The aim is to
No, no,
identify
that one
any
is
cluster banks of
financial
potential
source.
contagion at an early stage.
Financial source. Yeah, that's the one.
This one. Okay. All right, awesome. I gotta check this out. Maybe
Yeah, I've been using them for a couple of years, they're very good for fundamentals. It's the best, I think, because you
Okay.
don't need to go around and chase everything. You got everything in one place.
that's perfect. Perfect. Oh, nice. So Sergio got this a little bit earlier over here. He got it after that close and then another bullish close. Looks like he waited for this candle to create its bottom wick and flip bullish, which makes sense. This one right here. Again, you're right at that high, which you want to be careful about. But I think with the fundamentals and everything going on, like when you have volatility in the market, that's what breaks us out of resistances like this. Right? If we didn't have enough volatility in the market, we'd probably end up rejecting this level and continuing right back down and getting a deep correction. But right now, there's a lot of fear in the market, a lot of people buying gold, a lot of people selling the US dollar, thinking that they're going to become more dovish after what happened on Friday. So there's a lot of moving parts going on right now. But again, wait for the retest right here. Right, we're going to exhaust somewhere around here, and we could very well pull back into here and then continue up. But just wait for your setup. Right, don't try to execute on something that you're not familiar with just because you think price is going to continue up. US 30 looks good to continue down. I'm thinking right now, like I keep journaling these trades, but and we actually executed on this on the simulator. I think on Friday or Thursday that we did it, where we ended up getting the strong close below that support right there, like that, right? And then the next one created that top wick and then just continued right back down. And I think I put my stop loss up here to grab the entire move. Anyone remember that? Yeah, where would my target be? Oh yeah, that looks nice. If you guys look at the 4 hour over here, 4 hour created that top wick or strong close with a bottom wick to fill. Top wick form past low of the previous candle should be continuing down here. The 1 hour, right? Beautiful setup, like I pointed out before. 30-minute, nice strong close below that level. Just trying to see from here. If I would enter here to here. I don't want to do that. Yeah, look at gold, guys. See how we're pulling back here? Wait for that support to form, right? As long as we hold that support, grab that. Quinn, have you talked to Sammy?
Just about fitness.
Oh, okay. He didn't give you the news?
No, which one?
You got engaged.
No shit.
Yeah,
Fuck, no, he didn't tell me.
pulled the move.
Whoa,
Awesome.
yeah. Yeah, I know we've been talking about working out. He's been in the gym every day, so I was giving him a little bit of tips
Nice.
about how to train and all that.
How's rock climbing going?
Haven't been able to go since last time. I'm planning on going next Sunday.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, if I get the time, I would like to go like middle of the afternoon and end up with like 1 hour of sauna just before going back home and going to bed.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. So now I have the before pictures and the after pictures of this US 30 trade. For our 39. Right. So I'm expecting, I mean, this looks great. Yeah, part of me wishes I took this, but I just took the GJ trade, so I don't really want to just jump into something again on a Monday. But like I said, today could very well, even though we got a low economic data week or data day, we could very well get a big moving session here during New York. Yeah, it's a nice little retest on the 15-minute, 5-minute held. It's nice. All right, guys. So like I said, wait for GJ could be retesting, right? It could be, I don't know, that's the 5-minute. So again, GJ, look for that close below that area. You do have this support right over here. The price actually just tapped into. And again, I think the higher time frames here, like that 4-hour, after tapping into this support over here, you're going to get some kind of a pullback. Anywhere into here, you pull back into here and continue back down. Could pull anywhere in these areas and continue right back down with more people buying the yen and more people selling the pound as a risk currency. And now for gold, just look for that close above. The 4-hour over here seems so overextended right now. But again, with fundamentals, we could just keep pushing up here. Yeah, I mean, the fact that like if this setup, right, just contained this wick right there that we only rejected that one time, and now we're pulling back and now we're retesting that wick, that would not be that big of a deal to me. But the fact that we rejected over here as well, right, kind of ruined the taste of my mouth for buying gold again. But right over here, the fact that we did close above that area with a strong bullish candle and the liquidity grab could very well grab this thing up. But you just got to be careful that resistance. And again, if you're not comfortable with that, and then also this candle did close right here too. It did reject that level to the left as well, that previous resistance. But again, If this isn't something you're comfortable with, just journal it and see how you would catch it. Like I said, the 5 minute over here would have told me a lot that we were grabbing that support, faking this level out, that bullish candle close, stop loss below it, could very well grab this whole thing up. Make sense?
So what would you be waiting on gold right now for you to get an entry?
On gold, I would look for a legit retest right here, right? Like, can we hold a solid support here?
Yeah.
If we can hold a solid support here, I think you could take that all day. And also don't be afraid. Like, we could very well pull back into this range, close above here, and then continue back above again. And that's like almost like a fake out of this level to continue up. Yeah, but something about these candles tells me that I don't want to be just jumping into something like this just yet, because we could very well pull back anywhere into here.
Yeah.
It's where a lot of people get in trouble. They try to buy up here, and then the move gets corrected. Not all the time, but sometimes. All right. Any questions, guys? I gotta go take care of my wife. She's not feeling too good.
All right, bro. See you later, man. We're doing backtesting today, or that's tomorrow?
Yeah, it's gonna be tomorrow. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Last week I was shot and
All right.
did it 4 times, but that's all right.
All right, bro. See you
All
tomorrow,
right,
man.
guys.
Thank you, Sam.
Absolutely. If you have
Thank
any
you.
questions, let me know. If you take anything, send it in the chat, and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Good job today.